Great. But you know, when I realized we were making progress, not only on the campus, but it was sort of entertaining when the students at the University of Michigan started pulling out dollar bills and lighting them up. That's what I advise you to do, guys. You know, there's a fire code around here, so be careful. But I also know we were making progress on the money issue when we get people like Jay Leno asking me about, what is this business about printing too much money? They've told me for years that you should never talk about monetary policy because it's so complex. Yeah, really complex. You print a lot of money and it loses its value. They're going to have to listen to us, and you know, it's pretty obvious. It's on the news every single day. You know, the dollar's going down. The dollar's getting weak. I wonder what's happening. What are we going to do? Oh, let's print some more money and bail out the banks. Yeah, but it is becoming an issue. You know, today gold hit record highs. But they said the gold price is high. But that is not it. Gold prices always stay the same. The value of the gold is steady. What happened is, you know, not too many years ago, probably about 100 years ago, the dollar was defined as 1/20th of an ounce of gold. Today, it's essentially 1/900th of an ounce of gold, and they wonder why the dollar is getting weak. But anyway, this is an important issue for a great deal of reasons. But the main reason why the gold standard and gold money is so important, it restrains the government from getting too involved in the economy and around the world and fighting wars.
Now, I know that there's probably a lot of Ron Paul supporters that are discouraged because Ron Paul came in 5th in the New Hampshire primary. But I think it's important to think about this. Freedom is not something that you can just obtain overnight. Attaining freedom requires nonstop effort and the common people to unite together and work as one. And with this, and with Ron Paul's message and the people's continuous hard effort, we will keep fighting on until we get what we came for, which is freedom. So now I'd like to hear what the king of all media has to say about Ron Paul. I've always loved Howard Stern and the way that he practices his First Amendment right. And I think it is good to see that he has finally found out the truth about Dr. Paul.
You know what I'm digging is that Ron Paul guy. But I don't think he's got a shot.
Now, I don't know what Ron Paul looks like. I keep seeing his signs.
I didn't know anything about him until a couple of days ago. I was watching something on Fox News. It was not Bill O'Reilly, but it was something else. And they were interviewing Ron Paul. And I sat there, you know, I figured he's just like some kooky, right-wing, you know, Republican. So I'm listening to the dude, and afterwards, like, Beth is sitting next to me, and I didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden I went, you know, I think I agreed with everything that dude just said. and then she goes, I did too. I go, I don't know who that guy is. He wants us out of Iraq. Like, I mean, day one.
And he's a Republican.
He's a Republican. I just found out yesterday, because somebody wrote me after I talked about the guy, that he's the only, I guess at the time he was a congressman, he's the only one who stood up for us about the FCC, saying that they should have complete freedom on the radio.
Really?
And he's for abolishing the FCC.
Uh-oh. I just might have to vote Ron Paul.
The guy, but a lot of people wrote me about him. And I was like, wow, this guy, I mean, I have to say, I said, I don't know who he is, but he's pretty bright, and he's making a lot of sense. Let's see, here's I got a whole bunch of letters, too, people saying thank you for the positive input on Dr. Paul. I guess he's a doctor.
Oh. Is he at a PhD or an MD?
Hope he's an MD. He's the only one that can help America heal. I'm a Dr. Ron Paul supporter and have been canvassing at home in Arkansas and sending letters to other states during the revolution. Somebody says, He's a real person, the best interests of America. Please allow him on your show.
Well, let's have him on.
He's a libertarian-minded Republican who has captured the fire and imagination of a lot of younger voters on the internet, curing their voter apathy. This is evidenced by the fact that Dr. Paul raised more money in a single day than any other presidential candidate. There's a guy from Canada. He's a Canadian citizen, and he's trying to get Ron Paul elected. So I don't know. I just happened to hear the guy talk, and everything he said I kind of agreed with, which was weird because I don't know anything about the dude. But I don't think he's got.
So I'm very happy to see that Howard Stern has finally found Ron Paul, especially since he now realizes that Ron Paul was one of his only supporters in Congress when the FCC levied hefty fines against him. I would like to thank all of you for tuning into the Ron Paul Movement Hour again. This has been episode number 3. It was taped on January 10th. And I hope that all of you stay positive and remember that the mainstream media cannot shade the light from all of us. They cannot and will not. We must stay proactive and continue to fight. Now I'd like to end the show with this quote. It is from Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. So until next time, I hope that you join Ron Paul's meetup group in Vermont. And I created a blog to go with this show, so I hope you go to the blog. I put the first show onto YouTube, so you can watch some of the clips there. And I hope that more of you join us so that we can spread Ron Paul's message and get him elected as president. I think it's important that we say yes to real change and continue to stay positive. So until next time, peace.
Now we can all get a piece of it. Peace never PC, but people from the Pico-ness. Greedy and legitimate, Democrat and Republican. Sell guns for funds, indigenous exterminates. Listen, log, one world nation. True clear channel.